Hello, Facebook and YouTube. The day of Uriel the Archangel. God is our fire. God is our light. No, not Wooden. He's a false god. Acknowledging false gods and goddesses on God's days. All right. Topic of the message. Thank you for the happy birthdays for my mother. Facebook. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for giving my mother a great happy birthday. But the topic of this message, all right, we're approaching the summer solstice. Very important, very important time that I'm researching, I research and wow, it's going to be very impactful situation concerning the 22nd and the 23rd and the 24th. It's going to be quite interesting. 25th, I believe, too. It's going to be interesting. Well, but the topic of this message that I want to talk about, that had a conversation with a friend of mine at the last call at the bar. I was trying to explain to her about the idea of, first she was talking about, that, she told me that we are all God's children and God, but we just, find our ways screwing up, doing foolish things. And I was like, well, I can agree with that to an extent. I could say we are God's creation, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know about God's children. Yeah. But we're God's creation that, unfortunately, because of sin inside of us, we will find ourselves screwing up and making foolish, bad decisions. And, but I was, kind of wanted to talk to her on the level of, like she talked about, love yourself. Like she said her religion, love is her religion. And I'm like, okay, that sounds good. But, I was wanting to help her see an ideal aspect of that, But, but one thing I, gave her example of, like we say, okay, we're going to love ourselves. But if we're going to love ourselves, we got to know who we are. You know what I'm saying? More likely, you got to have X-ray vision to see the 23 chromosomes of the makeup of the kind of person that you are, to see, first of all, discover who this person is, and then love this, care, more likely love to care for this 23 chromosomes of the person, fulfilling his purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is created, people are created for a purpose. That, really the idea, if you're gonna, coin the phrase loving yourself, is consist of. But I tell people, I was trying to convey the idea that really people can't really love themselves. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the ability to discover as much more the kind of person that they are. You know what I'm saying? They can find out they're somewhat a good person, but we really don't have the ability within us to find out how much more the kind of person that we are concerning the 23 chromosomes that is placed inside of us. And, and that leads me to, the topic of this message that I hope I, title it correctly for you to understand what I'm coming from. But it's called the reality of understanding that we are in a position of discovery, but not defining. You know what I'm saying? We're in a position as human beings, as creatures, of a position of discovery, but not defining things. Now, what that means? It means that, as what King David says, that, Psalms 51 talks about that he was born in sin, shaped with iniquity. You know what I'm saying? He realized that he came into this world flawed, that he has some negative things inside of him concerning of the kind of person that he is. He unfortunately had to discover those negative things, being put in a position of Bathsheba bathing in the pool of Bethesda, and position in that temptation, and surrender to that temptation, finding out that he's Uriah's wife, a soldier that's fighting the war for Israel. He had to discover it, unfortunately, in the wrong manner. Unfortunately, certain people have to find out the negativity inside of them by experience. Unfortunately, what I'm saying, they find themselves making a foolish and a dumb decision to discover that, guess what, there's something negative inside of you. It's like that. And I was making an example to her about that I was talking to my friend one time at the last call, that we got these straws. They got these colorful straws on this on the bar, that I was making a example that there's many colors in them. Like the main color of the straws that are in there is like pink straws, and I make an example to them, say, let's say these pink straws represents the negativity inside of you. You know what I'm saying? And but the thing is, because there's a lot of pink straws in there, you may think that you are supposed to be. That's one of the most powerful, to me, 3 words: supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? That that is only determined by us. Because you got these negative things inside you, you're supposed to be a negative person. Well, that's not really true. You have positive things inside of you, you know what I'm saying, that is part of the makeup of the kind of person that you are, you know what I'm saying? And if you lean towards those positive things, you can find yourself doing positive things, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, it's for us, we are only in, but like I said about King David, he was put in a position to find out that he had some, more likely, pink straws. You had to find out that he had some flaws inside of him. And he had to discover those flaws by experience. Now, here's where it gets, unfortunately, difficult. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I did something wrong. Now the balance is, in my viewpoint, because I did something wrong, and I'm supposed to be doing more wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's what comes the decision of an individual to figure out or to discover. You know what I'm saying? But watch this. This world system is conditioned to make people to define themselves as the wrong things that they do. You know what I'm saying? Like if I stole something, you know what I'm saying, from a store, am I supposed to be a thief? You know what I'm saying? If I kill one person, am I supposed to be a killer, killing a lot of people? You know what I'm saying? But this world system is created to nudge you, say, yes, you are supposed to be a killer. You should, let your anger, control you, and you hurt more people. Is what is conditioned to ease people to believe that perspective. But the thing is, but position you to define that. It wants you to define it. Well, you killed this person, you killed that person, kill that person, you're supposed to be a killer. Or more likely, you stole this person, you steal from that person, steal from this person, you're supposed to be a thief. You know what I'm saying? He wants you, because of your track record of wrongdoing, to tell you and make you define it from your perspective to say you're supposed to be doing wrong. That's the whole idea of Satan's kingdom of darkness, is all about aiming people to believe that. And that's why you see the craziness that's going on around the world concerning the news of horrific things are happening to people, and people doing horrific things to each other, and bad things are continually happening because someone has think they're in the position to define themselves based upon the negative actions that they did. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? The ideal that I learned concerning being a Christian, of Christ is about being a light, and the light to reveal what's actually going on inside of you. You know what I'm saying? A light to reveal, to see the positive, see the negative. You seeing the positive, seeing the negative. You seeing what's going on. And now watch this. When Christ comes inside you, you're supposed to develop him inside you to get him permission to remove what's wrong. That now remove what you now see is wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to reveal what's wrong with you, and he's going to reveal what's wrong with you, and he's going to, can I deliver you from it? Or are you going to allow me to deliver you from what you now have a revelation to see what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? To follow the instructions of what's going on. That's what, the prophet Nathan came to David to reveal the truth concerning of what David did concerning committing adultery against Uriah's wife. He revealed to him concerning a riddle, and the thing is, he revealed. Now in that revelation David received, of course, David, a God man after God's own heart, felt conviction. He felt conviction. He was in a position of conviction that yes, I did something wrong. Yes, I committed adultery and I committed murder. I realized. See, David realized he did something wrong. You know what I'm saying? He came to that discovery. You know what I'm saying? He didn't, but he could have said, "Man, I'm king of Israel. I run this show. I run this place. Nathan, you need to get up out of here with all that nonsense. I can sleep with whoever I want to, kill whoever I want to, whenever I want to." You know what I'm saying? So get out of here, Nathan. That's unfortunately most people, unfortunately, because now watch this. When you're in that prideful mindset, you're now trying to define what is right based upon what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Let me say that again. You're trying to define what's right based upon really the lust of the flesh. That you can do what you want to do whenever you want to do. Now, I'm just going to keep a simple perspective on it. Now, can a person define anything? Well, according to the creation that you were placed in this world, coming out of your mother's womb, that to a world that was already established, to a world that already has rules, you know what I'm saying? To a world that that is beyond your viewpoint, that you can imagine that this world is in a solar system, and the solar system is in a galaxy, and the galaxy is in the universe. See, all this stuff was already here before you got here. You know what I'm saying? So that's reality. You know what I'm saying? So the question is, are you going to accept the reality that, everything was already established, and I need to discover and find out what is everything all about? Who am I, and what's my purpose, and what's all this, this world? What's this world's purpose? What, the solar system purpose, what the galaxy purpose is, what the universe purpose is. It's a position that everybody has to understand, that you are in a position of discovery. You're here to discover the laws and how to do things in this world in order for you to fulfill a purpose in this world. You know what I'm saying? I tell people a creation is supposed to be about creating. It's not supposed to be about destroying, you know what I'm saying, but creating. You know, I remember I was talking to a person that worked at Starbucks a while back, and I said, if I, tell you to make a drink, and if I just throw it away, is that supposed to make sense? The person, says, well, no, it's not supposed. When the person saw the ideal of that, they was like, whoa, nah, that's not supposed to make sense. I created that. I worked hard to make this drink and precisely, and you just threw it away. That just doesn't supposed to make sense. Well, the idea that you have to discover, if it's created, it has to create for a purpose. It has to serve a purpose that is supposed to make simple sense to most people. But if you are in darkness, the D stands for destruction. You know what I'm saying? If destruction is supposed to make sense to creation, then your perspective is not, it's in a position that is not making sense. That and if it's not making sense and you want to define it as it makes sense, you want to say this is how it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to make something and it's supposed to destroy it. I'm supposed to make something, it's supposed to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? If you want to define it in that perspective, you're going to be in a position of a fool. You know what I'm saying? Because first of all, you came to a world that is created, that is a creation, is trying to serve a purpose to create more. You know what I'm saying? To create more life, You know what I'm saying? Man and woman have sex, produce a child, create more life. You know what I'm saying? That process, a procedure of this world system is supposed to be about creating more life, not killing it and not destroying it. But Satan got this world in so much darkness that abortion makes sense to millions, billions of people right now. That's how bad the deception, unfortunately, a person's a life being taken from its infancy makes sense to a great amount of people. You know what I'm saying? That is not real, and now defining that makes sense. I'll just take that life, and I just come out with some simple idea. What if somebody took your life when you was in your mom's womb? Would that make sense? You know what I'm saying? It's just, and of course, people will give a ridiculous question. You know what I'm saying? It's what's ridiculous about this world system that is trying to define the ideal of taking a life period supposed to make sense. Is the epidemic that is going on that we as true Christians are supposed to help people to see the light that, because life is for living, you know what I'm saying, period. And all kind of other stuff, pretty much, to be about following the instructions of the Word of God so people will not believe such foolish ideas, and let people know that there's no such thing of defining. You can't define ideals, and especially an ideal that's all about getting rid of life, getting rid of the very thing that we exist and we exist by, then, taking it. It's not supposed to really make sense at all. But how dark this world is ridiculous. But guess what? We're supposed to discover the rules of this life instead of make our own foolish, fleshly, ridiculous rules. That doesn't make sense to life. All right, that's the message. Hope it makes sense to you. To God be the glory, Him forever and ever. In Jesus' name, amen.